I did Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre, and he was born June 21st, 1905. Through his life, he studied and wrote. At a young age, he got interested in philosophy. This eventually led him to meet one of his best friends. Then in 1939, he drafted into the French army to serve as a meteorologist. He was captured by German troops in 1940 and spent 9 months as a prisoner of war. After the war, he was able to get a teaching job. Then in 1964, he was awarded a Nobel Prize, but he turned it down. His physical condition got worse, which soon led to his death, April 19th, 1980. My genre is philosophical fiction, because there's lots of shown knowledge, nature, and explaining existence and life. My story is about a French man named Antoine Roquentin, who lives in a small town called Beauville. He begins a journey to write down these strange feelings he has every day. He calls it nausea. He is not really sure what is wrong with him, or even if it's worth keeping in a journal about. But after a few days of experiencing nausea, he finds himself writing every detail in his journal. It seems that everything he does, sees and touches to the outside world, or by himself, gives him this overcome feeling of presence. He soon went to study a French aristocrat that he was very interested in. With his feelings of nausea, he started to feel every little detail about that person. Even when he would look in the mirror, he would seem to see the man he's been studying. These feelings soon made him stop his work of studying him, because he thinks he should not dwell in the past, but in the present. He thinks all these feelings of what he calls nausea are some ties to the question of existence, and he finds himself focusing more on people and things around him. What is nausea? How will it affect his life? And you'll have to read to find out. Excerpt is, nausea has left me, and I don't believe it will leave me soon. So I no longer have to bear it. It is no longer an illness or a passing fit. It is I. So as I was in the park just now, the roots of the chestnut tree were sunk into the ground just under the bench. I couldn't remember if there was a root anymore. These words have vanished, and with them the significance of other things, their methods of use, and the feeble points of reference, which men have traced on their surface. I was sitting, stooping forward, head bowed, alone in front of this black, knotty mass, entirely beastly, which frightened me. Then I had this vision. It left me breathless. Never until these last few days I had understood the meaning of existence.
Book I read was I'm Number 4. The author was Pittacus Lord, and she wrote many books like I'm Number 4 and The Rise of Nine, which I'm Number 4 is New York Times bestseller. And the genre is fiction because it couldn't happen in real life. My summary is John is an alien from the planet Lauren, and he has a sapien named Henry. A sapien is a person who is assigned to a Lord child, and they have to teach them how to use their powers. He had to come to Earth because his home planet was destroyed by the Mongolians. The first 3 Lord children that have come to Earth are dead, and John is Number 4. So John is always moving from town to town, so Mongolians don't kill him. So he met this girl named Sarah, and he starts dating her. And he has a friend named Sam. There's also a jock named Mark that he went to his house for a party, and it ended up starting on fire with candles. Sarah got stuck inside with 2 of his dogs, and he ends up in the paper for saving her. People then found out that he is Number 4, and he gets into a fight with the Mongolians. Does he win or does he get killed? You'll have to read the book to find out. Sarah screams, something sweeps by us, but I don't see what it is, and I don't care to find out. I pull Sarah by the hand and sprint down the hall. I shoulder the door and rush out into the parking lot. Sarah, Gast, and both of us stop dead in our tracks. My breath catches in my throat and chills shoot up my spine. The lights are still dimmed and looking ghastly in the heavy dark. Beneath the nearest light, we both see it. Trench coat swaying in the breeze, hat pulled so low that I can't see its eyes. Lifts its head and grins at me. Sarah's grip tightens on my hand. We both take one step backwards and trip in our rush to get away. We move the rest of the way back and crab walk until we hit the door. Come on, I yell as I rush to my feet. Sarah stands. I try to latch the door, but it's automatically locked behind us. See another in the corner of my eye, standing still at first. I watch as it takes its first step towards me. There's another one behind it. Montgomery's, all these years, and they're finally here. I try to focus, but my hands are shaking too badly to open the door. I feel them bearing down, closing in. Sarah presses close to me. I can feel her trembling.
Are those the ones you read, Brian?
Tim Green also writes books like Football Hero, Football Champ, and The Big Time, and Best of the Best. And the summary part. My book is called Deep Zone, and it's about two brothers named Ty and Thane. Ty was only 13 years old. Thane was a 10-year-old wide receiver for the Jets. Both of their parents died a year ago in a car crash. So one night when Thane was playing a football game and Ty was on the sideline, Thane broke his leg and he had to sit in the hospital for 7 to 8 weeks. When Thane was in the hospital, there was 2 FBI agents that were watching over Ty because his uncle Gast was a star witness for taking these 2 guys to court, and Ty was being targeted because the 2 guys thought he was in touch with his uncle, and so they want to get to Uncle Gus to kill him so the other 2 guys could be set free for life. Ty learned that the 2 guys that were targeting him were Benny and Benito. So one night when Ty was sleeping and one of the agents were outside and another one was downstairs, bang, Ty was still sleeping, then he heard something come in the room, and there was a scream. It was Agent Sutherland, and he said there was a noise and he found a ladder outside the window. If you want to learn more about this book, you should check out Deep Zone. Ty felt the scream jammed up in his throat. "You okay?" It was Agent Sutherland, hunched over, ready for a fight. "What are you doing?" Ty asked. "Did you hear that crash?" Ty asked. "Shh." Sutherland moved to the window with gun in his hand and opened the seam in the curtains. "There's a ladder down in the grass right below your window." Ty shivered. Sutherland stood straight and dialed his phone. After a moment he said, "What's going on out there? Did you guys see something?" Ty heard the buzz of a voice on the other end. Finally, Sutherland said, "Okay, keep going. I'll stay here with the kid, but let me know." "What is it?" Ty asked. Sutherland flipped on the light in the corner. "They were here. They must have come through the back. I had 2 guys on the street. They said they were sitting there keeping an eye out for a vehicle when one of them happened to look at the house and saw someone with the ladder. They got out and started running for the house, but whoever it was saw them. He ditched the ladder and ran." "Who? Betty the Blade?" "Maybe it was," Sutherland muttered, as if talking to himself before he said, They're gone now though, don't worry. Some professional killer just tried breaking into my room. Now I'm not supposed to worry." Ty's voice rolled like howling wind. "You said I'd be okay." "You are, aren't you?" Ty sat up in bed and looked down at his hands. "Yes. See, they're not going to try and sneak in your window again. They know now." "Know what?" Ty asked. "That we'll be watching the front, the back, and everywhere in between until your uncle is out of town. Once that happens, you'll be completely safe." We were right about their code. Your uncle's definitely the cake they've been talking about. I'll let you get back to sleep, buddy. Don't worry, I'll be down there.
The book I read is Cirque du Freak, Lord of the Shadows. The author is Darren Shawn. The author lives in Limerick, Ireland, and he decided to become a full-time writer at age 24. The genre of the book is horror novel, and it fits this genre because it is not real and parts are very graphic violence. This book is about a boy named Darren Shawn, and he was turned into a vampire, and he was trying to track down the vampire's biggest enemy. And along the way, he encounters some difficult decisions and also learns his fate of either dying while trying to kill his biggest enemy and all of humanity is destroyed, or he kills his biggest enemy and destroys all humanity himself. So if you want to find out about his fate, read this book. Steve said, and something in his voice made Arlie and Gannon pause and look around. Steve's face was expressionless, but his eyes were alive with insane glee. One of us would say, I dare you to do this, and stick his hand in fire or jab a pin in his leg. The other would have to copy him, remember? No, I moaned, and knew what he was coming. I knew what was coming. I knew I wouldn't stop it. I knew I'd been a fool and made a fool's mistake. I'd assumed Steve was even the slightest bit human. I dare you to do this, Darren. Steve whispered dreadfully before I could reply. Before anything else could happen, he seized Shankus's head tightly and twisted it sharply to the left, then the right. Shankus's neck snapped. Steve dropped him. Shankus fell to the floor. Steve has killed him.
My book is Zombies vs. Unicorns. The authors are Olivia Bray, Meg Combat, Cassandra Clare, Margot Lanigan, Earth Nix, Carrie Ryan, and Scott Westerfeld. Olivia Bray, Meg Combat, Cassandra Clare, Mara Johnson are best-selling authors. Margot Lanigan, Earth Nix, Carrie Ryan, and Scott Westerfeld have websites online. The genre for this book is fiction, because I don't think a war like this would ever happen. I took the effort I had to pull my arm from beneath the thick duvet, and soon I did. I wish I hadn't while it didn't hurt. My arm was clearly not well. It was whitish gray from the tips of my fingers to just above my elbow. The wound itself had become engorged and pus-filled, green and purple and blue, black and angry red, and every color of the rainbow that my hand could be escaped its usual one. You didn't need a degree in medicine to know that the kind of wound was seriously bad, and that whatever horrible tears I had been given, or whatever magical rocks had been placed on my sleeping body to aid my recovery, hadn't worked and were never going to work.